Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the show. This is the show, Tip the Tea. I'm your host, your girl, Angie E. Today, we're going to have a very interesting topic. Today, we have a special guest here. She'll be speaking about health and wellness. I need her to teach me, too. I'm really up for learning this. Zakiyyah J is here. She is a health and wellness consultant. So we're going to go ahead and dive into the show. I'm so excited, and I'm very anxious, too, because I need this. And I'm sure a couple of you guys out there, too. So just tune in, and thank you. So we're going to get into the show and dive in. I'm going to introduce her. How you doing, Miss Zakiyyah?
I am very well. How are you today,
Welcome
Angie?
today, girl. Welcome. It's an honor to have you here today.
I'm excited. I am honored to
Yes.
be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor for you, girl. I need this.
We all
Can't
do.
wait.
And whether
Yes.
we know it or not, we all need it.
Do.
So
We do. So you got to teach us how to live long and healthy now. I'm counting on you.
look, I'm gonna do my best.
Outside of God, we got it.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I want to make an impact in my community and those that I'm in close contact with. And thank God for the World Wide Web. So, we're able to, spread the information, via Facebook or Instagram or, whatever your preference is. So it's been good. And so I really feel like that I'm, slowly dripping on people, giving them healthy tips about different things on how they can, not only, a lot of people hear health and wellness and they automatically think losing weight, but it's so much more to it than that. And, so try to teach people to develop it as a lifestyle and not just as a fad or what's trending right now.
Yeah,
So.
that's good. That's a very good response. So I just wanted to ask you, what inspired you to get into this health and wellness?
Well, to be very frank, I would say it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to get healthy, but I'm divorced now, so it was right when me and my ex-husband separated. We weren't yet divorced, but I knew that I had to do something to supplement the loss in income in the household. So a good friend of mine, shout out to Rashi Booth, we had did business with each other previously, and he had reached out to me about an opportunity. And, I'm like, I'll give it a try, because literally I had just been praying about something, like, okay, Lord, I got to do something. And, shortly thereafter, he contacted me and was telling me what he had going on. And I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And it just kind of spun from there. So I'm like, okay, I can try this, maybe lose a little bit of weight. It was in the winter, so I was like, I'd be ready for summer. And, I actually tried the products before I even started telling people about it, and they actually did exactly what they said. A lot of times, they tell you different things. There's going to do this, going to do that, and you don't necessarily get those results. So, being that I value my integrity, my character, I'm like, I'm not going to just push these products to anybody and I don't know anything about them. So I personally tested them. They did exactly what they said they want to do, and that's where we are today. That's kind of what got me started in the health and wellness industry.
Cool. That's what's up. So when you say products, what kind of products are you talking about?
Well, that particular company I'm not with, so I kind of do something independently, and I do make referrals to a particular company with their products, but mostly teaching people to detox their bodies, because that's something that we all need, because unfortunately the different foods that we have, they have so many additives and chemicals and things that are not necessarily good for your body nowadays. So it's good to detox and kind of reset your system. And then once you do that, the products that I do promote, they help you keep your metabolism and your blood sugars at a level to where you lose weight. Because in relation to blood sugar, when your blood sugar begins to drop, that's when your body begins to store fat instead of burning it. So the products that I use myself now, they help keep that in balance so that that blood sugar doesn't drop, and so your body is constantly in fat burning mode. So
I got to get some of that right away.
well, we could talk more about that.
Yes.
Because it's very and it's teaching you also how to just kind of reset your diet, so you kind of eliminate some things right off, and then you reintroduce them slowly. So it teaches you how to fight the cravings and, make more sensible choices. And instead of eating, like for me, a habit of mine had been, I may eat one, maybe twice a day, but having small increments of foods, if it might be a handful of almonds or, some fruit or something, or some veggies, some cucumbers, something, just something small every 3 to 4 hours to kind of keep that metabolism burning. But you want to make sure that those small choices that you are making are also healthy options, and not a chocolate shake or a donut or
You're talking
something
right to
like
me,
that.
'cause, I used to eat a lot of sugar, like sugar products, like of course, Butterfingers and Baby Ruths, and but I had to wean myself. Seriously, I had to wean myself off of that because in 2015. I went to the doctor just for my annual checkup, and my A1C was like borderline diabetic or whatever you want to call that. I'm like, oh no, I'm not claiming that, and I'm going to do better. And I did. I went home, I threw out all the stuff that was in the refrigerator that I would normally cook or something. I threw it all out. And so I started researching and went on the web and just to Google, what could I do to help bring down my A1C to a normal level? And I did. And I started eating a lot of flaxseed, a lot of nuts like walnuts, pecans, and then I would also do like a lot of avocados and celery.
Okay.
Celery is very good, and I didn't know that. So I just had to start, and then I never drink pop, but I drank a lot of juice, which has a lot of added sugar.
Right.
So I had to find the ones that didn't have so much sugar, because the doctor told me, she was like, you can't go over 23 grams of sugar.
Okay.
So every time I would go in the store, I would look at the nutrition fact and see how much sugar and stuff, is in it and whatever. And so it really took it down, and it's at it's at a level now where it's normal.
Right.
So I don't want to go over, and I don't want to go under. So yeah, that is very important, because diabetes runs on both sides of my family.
Yeah, like my grandmother's sister's children, a lot of them have battled with diabetes and things like that. And similar to you, back in the end of last year, I had the same thing. Went in for my annual, and she's like, "You're borderline diabetic." I'm like, "What do you mean? I don't even, eat that much or eat a lot of sweets and sugars." But I have been off of work for almost a year, so I wasn't as active, and that late night snacking, because now I don't have to get up and go to work in the morning. So, me and the kids are up on the weekend. We're vegging out in front of the TV, and then we're going to sleep. But, it's just things like that you have to start to change. So now I try to focus on not eating after a certain hour. Yeah. And, if I am going to have something, one of the products we have is a shake. You just mix it. You can mix it with milk, or you can mix it with water, and it helps to fight cravings. Because usually at the end of the night is when I want a cookie, or I want something like that. When it's the time when you're supposed to be asleep.
Yes.
You're just unfortunately, those are the unhealthy habits that we have formed. So it kind of helps with just making an overall lifestyle change, and not saying diet, because when you hear diet,
it's harder.
Yes,
it's like a job. Like you got to go to
and you feel like you're depriving yourself, and that's not what we want, because usually that's when you don't stick to it. So we're just trying to. My thing when I'm sitting down and I'm talking to people is helping them to focus on just making better choices. This is not a diet, but this is something that we want you to adapt to for the rest of your life, because we want to live that abundant life that God promised us. And a part of that is not just the things that we acquire, but it's also taking care of our temple and putting the right things inside of it.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question about yogurt. I'm hearing now, at first there was a big thing saying, yogurt was good. Yogurt is good. Now I'm hearing yogurt is not good. So last night, like you said, the cookie, I would eat. I love black walnut ice cream. I'm not going to tell no story. Viewers, you hear that? I am a fanatic. When you say black walnut ice cream, I'm going to every store. And if they got them on sale, I'm coming out of there with more than 2 or 3 gallons, and that's not good because it carries a lot of sugar. But now what I started doing was, like excuse me, everybody, last night I had yogurt and what you call those
Granola, maybe?
Granola bar. And I crunch it up and put it in the yogurt. So I'm thinking, okay, well, that's good. Maybe I'll do this tonight, before I go to bed instead of eating the ice cream and stuff. Or then I also had, the night before, I had a sugar-free popsicle. So by you being a consultant, what do you suggest? First of all, I want to ask you, is yogurt good? Because for those yogurt lovers out there, I'm asking for you guys too. So is yogurt good for a snack? Or
to me personally, I think it depends on the brand that you use. There's some brands that are packed with sugar. So now that you go into the aisles, you see that they have Greek yogurt.
Chobani, because I like the is that
Chobani, I'm not particularly familiar with. Me personally, I'm not a yogurt eater, but I know that it is good for the cultures that it has in it, and it helps with gut health and keeping you. Supposed to help you. It has probiotics in it, like
I love that.
Activia.
I need that. Yes.
So that's so. But I think even with the Activia, it's kind of high on the sugar. You just kind of have to watch and kind of use your own judgment on that. Yeah. But I was a yo plate eater. But then when they start, like you said, when they start talking about it, it's like almost nothing is good for you. So my whole thing for people is, don't totally deprive yourself, but just do it in moderation. Yeah. But one of the things that I am a stickler about now is the high fructose corn syrup.
I heard about that too.
Everything, and it's totally not good for you. Wow. So my kids are currently mad at me because they can't eat Pop-Tarts anymore because it has the high fructose corn syrup in it. So we are literally, I have my kids in the grocery store now. They're looking and reading the labels because they're like, I know mommy's not going to buy this if I put it in the basket and it has high fructose corn syrup in it. So I'm trying to start them young. Yes. And they kind of understand it's not good for you, and they're athletic. So just trying to get them in the habit early of making good lifestyle choices, because they used to be, McDonald's. They want McDonald's. We don't do that anymore. So it costs me a little bit more now when we go out, but their health is worth every dollar.
That's right.
So.
That's good, girl. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I will have a whole cabinet full of Twinkies, donuts. I will have those, what you call them?
My kids will love your house.
Yeah, honey buns, everything. So I kind of figure, I'm like, wait a minute. When my doctor said, you're borderline, I'm like, wait, what? She's like, how much sugar do you contain? And I started thinking about that cabinet. I'm like, oh. So I had told her, she said, get rid of all of it. She said, get rid of all of it. And I said, but I was trying to make excuses. I'm like, but I don't really eat that much. So she said, get rid of it. I don't care if you eat it once a month. Get rid of it. So I'm like, dang. So when I went home, I prayed about it. I said, my health is more important. Sugar, bye-bye, because I'm going to live healthy. Right. I got rid of all it. I got 2 bags and threw all that stuff in the garbage. And even the black walnut, I don't really eat that as much as I used to. Okay. Like I say, I do the Chobani yogurt, or I'll do something like a popsicle, the sugar-free popsicle.
Yeah. So I think with most things, you do it in moderation. Yeah. And you'll be good. Yeah. But another thing that I'm trying to get my children in, I don't have, like, I'm a person, I can eat a plate full of vegetables. I don't have to have meat. But trying to get my kids into eating that. So I'm finding myself doing different types of greens all the time. Yeah, I make a kale, cabbage broccoli mixture. So just instead of doing plain cabbage, all 3 of those in there. I made that last week for the kids and they loved it. Ooh. So you just season it the regular way you do, and I caramelize some onions in the bottom of the pan with a little coconut oil and stuff, and then put it in there. And so they like that. And then yesterday we had some collards, and it's just about finding that balance and what works for you. And another thing is, a lot of illnesses and sicknesses start in our stomach. So we want to make sure, like I said, we're detoxing and we're getting all that stuff out that's just sitting there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you too. After the show, what kind of detox is good? But we got to get on with the show. So I wanted to ask you two questions. How long you been doing this? And is grapeseed oil good too? I heard you say coconut oil.
Yeah, grapeseed oil is good. Olive oil is good.
Yeah,
they have so many different oils. You just want to just kind of get the ones that work for you. I lean toward the coconut oil or the olive oil because it doesn't have a strong taste to it that, alters the taste of your food.
Yeah, because grapeseed oil does.
Yeah, so that's why I do like the coconut oil and the olive oil. So I try to stick with those. And then if I'm going to do some frying, I try to use canola oil or peanut oil. Instead of just plain vegetable oil.
Yeah,
so.
They say that's not good.
Yeah.
And you would think vegetable,
right?
The oil coming from the vegetables. But anyway,
right.
But yeah. So
but to be perfectly honest, just say your grace, because I don't believe half the stuff that we eat now is safe.
Good. Yeah,
it causes some type of ailment. They're saying. So like I said, say your grace.
That's it.
And do it in moderation.
Yep, that's it. That's all we can do because we don't know what's really good. They say one thing is good and the next thing is not, but we just never know.
Right, and then I was reading a lot of the trace minerals from the soil, just because of the constant turnover and having to produce fruit every year. They've been depleted, so we're not getting the same nutrients that our grandparents and our parents were getting because all the trace minerals are gone out of the soil now. Yeah. So apart from eating healthy, it's good to get a good vitamin. Yes. And a lot of, I don't want to name names, but a lot of the vitamins that we see in our farm, our over-the-counter vitamins like in Walgreens and Walmart and different things like that, I found out through another study that based on the way that they're engineered, when they're making them, your body really doesn't absorb a lot of the vegetables. I mean, a lot of the nutrients that are in the vitamins, they pretty much come out whole. So I do use a vitamin that's been engineered where you're going to absorb about 90 to 95% of the actual vitamin.
You got to share that.
I know. Only I will. Like, if anybody's interested, I'll leave my information at the end, and they can reach out about any of this.
Absolutely.
But because of the integrity of the company, they don't just want their name just spirit out. They've been around for 33 years, so it's very reputable and a very solid company. But just when it comes, they're a word of mouth company. Yes. So this would be like if I was to do it verbally here, it would be like a commercial or something or advertisement. And so they just want to protect the integrity of the company and allow people to, continue to build their businesses and their influence amongst the people they know without the mainstream being involved. But that's another thing. You have to make sure that you are doing supplements. Eating fruits and vegetables is not enough anymore because of the condition of our soil now. Yes. So we have to make sure we're doing the vitamins, good vitamins that I like, the omega-3. Yes. It's good for your brain and things like that. And then
But are you really getting the nutrients out of it?
This particular vitamin, that's the thing I love about the company that I am with. They have studies to back up everything that they do. So they can, they're not just creating and manufacturing things and selling it to people. They're making sure that they work. So they've done focus groups and they have, they draw people's blood before they start taking the supplements. And then they draw it again 6 weeks and then 3 weeks, and then I believe it's 6 weeks after they've been taking it. And people are just seeing drastic changes because we've had people that have had high blood pressure, that have been diabetic, or just had a plethora of different health ailments, and then they take these vitamins for 30 to 60 days, go back, and the doctor's like, I don't know, whatever you're doing, keep doing. Wow. Because none of those issues that you had, 60 to 30 days ago, you don't have them anymore. Wow. So that in itself, that's the thing that I love. I'm a very logical person. So,
so
and unfortunately, a lot of people do anything to gain wealth or,
Absolutely.
or whatever. So you have to make sure you do your research.
Absolutely. That's the main thing.
And just because
yeah.
it's on television doesn't mean that it's
the
FDA
real
approved
stuff.
or
Right.
it's good for you.
Yes,
So that's one of the things that we do. So, do whatever you're going to do as far as eating in moderation. Get lots of fruits and vegetables. Yeah. I would say don't eat a lot of fruit close to bedtime because it's going to turn into sugar.
Sugar, right, yeah.
So, if you're going to do fruit, do that earlier in the day when you're active. Yeah. I do recommend at least 30 minutes of activity a day, whether it's walking, getting on the elliptical, just something to get that heart rate up and going. You don't even have to do gym. You can walk around.
What
your
about
neighborhood.
walking up and down the stairs?
It's funny. I had read an article on a lady. She's older, like 80 or 90 years old. She literally was like overweight, and she lost weight by walking around her apartment. She would just do laps around her apartment and lost a lot of weight. And she was diabetic, all that stuff. And she's healthy as can be now. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to you don't have to go get an expensive gym membership. No. You don't even have to leave your home. You know, you can up and down the steps around your living room, just walk around your house. Yeah. And you just want to make sure you do it at a pace where it does elevate your heart rate.
Yes, yeah. That's what I do. I just walk up and down the stairs, girl, especially going from the basement all the way up to this. I'd be so tired. I'd be so tired I just stop. I'm like, I know that's not good. But I'd be like, okay, I'm going to take a rest, then I'm going to do it again. Girl, I'll be like, oh, I know I'm out of shape. I got to stay on it. But I have lost a few pounds. I'm great. Yeah. But yeah, do some exercise around the house. Just like she said, do some exercise. Just move around and, and just eat healthy, right? Yeah. So, okay, so the next question, how long you been doing this?
Oh, my goodness. I got involved with my first company 2014, so we're going on 5 years now. Okay. Yeah, so.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up as well, in addition to, the things that we put inside of our bodies, that's good. If you guys go and Google lung study, that's Lung.
Look in that camera and say that again.
Lung study, Lung study. If you just Google it, they did a 20-year study. The results of that study was released in February of last year. Yeah. And what they found is by using the mainstream brands, things like bleach, Clorox, Fabuloso, scrubbing bubbles, just using those products once a day in your home to clean your home is doing the same amount of damage to your lungs as smoking 20 cigarettes a day.
Oh my gosh, girl, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
So what if you use one of those little masks, the things you?
I believe that helps.
That'll help.
But in the grand scheme of things, because you are cleaning your house, you're not gonna walk around in your house all day 24/7 with that on. So for those that don't want to look into a more eco-friendly products that don't have those harsh chemicals and things like that, I would definitely recommend having proper ventilation and using the mask when they're cleaning.
What about open the windows?
Yeah. So that does help, but again, I have help with that. My daughter, she's 6, she has asthma. Hey Jessie. She has asthma really bad, and I don't smoke, no one in the house smokes, but she was having these flare-ups constantly. And so about a year ago, I got introduced to a company with eco-friendly products. So I swapped out our laundry detergent, our deodorant, our toothpaste, dishwashing liquid, all of our cleaning stuff, even down to the stuff that we bathe with. And it's been a year, and she hasn't had any issues with her asthma.
Wow.
And so,
that's amazing.
That's one of the things I say, I always do your research.
Yes.
Because when, the young lady that had told me about the products, she had told me about it some time ago, and I was just like, she's just trying to sell me something.
Right. Right.
And so I was like, I'm not being sold today.
Right. Exactly.
And so, just some time went on, and I was just, I'm going to try it. And then another thing that I found out is that the toothpaste that I have been using, it has sugar in it.
What kind?
I will put all these people on blast, but like,
No,
you
that's
know,
okay.
the Crest, the Colgates, and all of those things, they have sugar in it. And if we're trying to prevent cavities and, you know, good dental hygiene, why would we be brushing our teeth with that?
That's right.
You know, so, you know, you just find out, you know, so many things. And then a lot of time, I have a friend that has had issues with conceiving. She's married, wants to have kids. And, you know, she found out through her own research that a lot of the soaps and body washes and things that she was using, they have chemicals in it that make it hard to conceive.
Wow, that's
So
good stuff.
it's just so much that we don't know. So that is the whole basis for why I gravitated toward this industry. Because like I said, I want to, you know, make sure we're well informed. You know, as a people. And unfortunately, in the African American community, so many different things are taboo and something we just don't talk about it. You know, but you know, I just truly believe that knowledge is power, and you have the ability to change your current situation if you would just take time to get the information.
You go, girl.
Yeah.
I like that. I can learn a lot of stuff that, you know, because like I said, we all need to learn how to stay healthy. We really do. And to live long, you know, long, healthy lives. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because too many things happen by happenstance where, you know, we can be taken out of here anytime. None of us know when we're leaving here. But I just believe, especially as believers, we have to be good stewards over everything, and that includes our health. You know, it's not just about the tangible things like the money, the house, and all of those things, but you have to be good stewards over your temple.
Absolutely. I don't know if you ever heard of this one ingredient that they use as a vitamin. It's called rhodiola. And I did a little bit of research. It helps with your mood swings and helps, you know, like I said, it speeds up the metabolism. And it's supposed to be good for your skin, your nails. I mean, have you ever?
Yeah, no, I've never heard of that one, so I would have to definitely look that up.
I got it from.
So you give me some homework today.
And I'm trying to encourage and inspire everybody, you know, to be healthy too. But I had went to one of the I ain't gonna say the name of it, a health food store, and the lady behind the counter was so helpful to me. And I was asking her these questions, and you know, before I buy anything, I want to know first of all, what does this do, and how can it help me? You know what I'm saying? So she was telling me all the stuff, and then she would get this book. She had this guide, and then we would go on. She had a laptop, and she was showing me all this stuff and all the help. And she was like, really, to be honest with you, she was like, remember how back in our ancestors, like our grandparents, great-grandparents, they grew everything in gardens. Remember gardens? And she was telling me that she grows a lot of her stuff, her herbs, fruits and vegetables. And she was like, you know, the rhodiola that she was telling me about, it has those natural ingredients as far as herbal stuff. So I was really happy about that. Of course, I did buy that. I did purchase it. It was a little pricey, but it was okay because, like you said, your health is more important than anything. So, so we'll talk more about that, too.
Definitely.
So I was really happy. So my next question is, how could you inspire others about you know, the health and, you know, which you have been, but what could you tell them in the camera to even if someone is suffering right now with diabetes or, you know, any type of blood disease, anything, what could you do to inspire them?
The main thing I would say is, you know, do your own research. I know we pay medical providers to do their job, but unfortunately, big business is big business. So they're going to push the medications, and, you know, that causes us to become dependent upon it. So I would say definitely do your research, look and search for all natural remedies, because unfortunately, like we know, most commercials that come on, they say, you know, we'll help you get rid of that rash, but you might get depressed and you might be suicidal, but the rash will be gone. So, you know, it's sometimes the side effects of some of those medications outweigh the benefit of the original issue that you're dealing with. So I would just say do your due diligence, do your research. Of course, you know, respect your medical professional, get their advice before you start taking or changing anything in your diet. But be well informed. When you know you're going to the doctor, do your research and, ask your, well, what do you think about this? I heard that, there's a more natural way of tackling those things. Be informed, because, it's just unfortunate. Most of us are here to make some money. Most of the people are in the world to make money, and you just have to know what you know so that the wool won't be pulled over your eyes. Is my thing.
That's good. That's good stuff. And so, how have it helped you?
Well, for the most part, I think that I have a lot more energy. Because, like I said, I've been off work for about a year. It'll be a year in May. And like when I first, stopped working, I would be like really tired, lethargic, and I would get up, I would get the kids out to school, and I would like go back and get back into bed, and I would be there when they got out of school.
Right.
So, since I've started incorporating some of the vitamins and the supplements and things like that, I just have more energy. So when I get them up, I'm up for the day. Good. And I'm up, and I'm, I may go to the gym, or, I may do whatever, but I'm up and I'm active, and I'm not just lying in the bed letting the day pass me by. So I think I have a lot more mental clarity, because I'm watching what I put in my body, and I'm detoxing. So thought process and everything is a lot more clearer. I've just seen like some changes in my skin. Just things like that. I just feel better overall. Good. And my mood is stable. As women, we're very emotional. But I feel like I'm on an even keel.
That's
and
good.
Things like that. So I just feel overall better now that I'm conscious about what I'm putting in my body, and what I'm exposing myself to.
Okay, that's what's up. So, how could the viewers out here, how could they contact you for more information, or if they have any questions? How could they contact you?
Well, they can always send me an email. It's zakiyyahjknows@yahoo.com. So that's ZAKIYYAH, the letter J, and knows, KNOS. Wait a minute, I can't even spell today. I'm sorry. It's Zakiyyah J knows @yahoo.com. Okay. That's ZAKIYYAH, the letter J. KNOWS @yahoo.com. Okay, so they can shoot me an email. Turnaround time is usually 12 to 24 hours. I don't make you guys wait a long time to get your questions answered, or whatever. But that's how they can reach me.
That's cool. Okay. All right, guys. I hope you guys take notes. So I'm telling you, because this is some good information. This is what I ask everybody, all of my guests that comes on the show. You guys know that you've been tuning in on Mondays. Let's talk about happiness. What makes you happy, Zakiyyah J?
Oh my gosh. What makes me happy? I would have to say, first and foremost, it's waking up with a purpose every day. Knowing that I have something that I can offer to the world. I'm a person that wants to die empty. I don't want to die with dreams unfulfilled, information unshared, and impact not given. Yes. So I would just say, constantly, what makes me happy is constantly evolving as a person, and that which I learn being able to share with others.
That's good. That's a great answer. What sustains your happiness?
Oh, God, the peace of God, the peace and strength of God. Because I would definitely say that it has not been easy getting to that part. So I would say the peace of God and discernment, because you have to be so careful of the people and the energy that you allow in your space. So Jesus and discernment.
Girl, you preaching. I'm telling you. That's good. That is amazing. So I want to ask you one last question. We're going to get ready to wrap up this show. What's next for you?
Oh my gosh. That is something I'm currently seeking the Lord about. Like I'm content and I will always, share what I know about health and wellness, but I just really want to have a greater impact and a bigger sphere of influence. So I would just say wherever the Lord is going to take me, send me, Lord, I will go.
I know you yielded, right, girl?
Yes.
So you are yielded vessel. I know that's right, girl. That's what's up. Well, thank you so much for coming out and sharing this wonderful, wonderful information,
No problem.
girl.
Anytime.
You really, really, you inspired. I know a lot of us. Did she influence you guys and did she encourage you guys? Because she did encourage me. Because I'm going home and I'm going to sit down and throw some more stuff out the refrigerator. Okay. Because now I'm feeling kind of guilty. But thank you so much because that guilt helps. Guilt is to me is like when God convicts you, it's conviction, and conviction is sometimes really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So thank you so much
No
again, girl.
problem.
I gotta have you back.
Okay.
I gotta have
well,
you back on the show because that's
yeah,
very
I'm pretty
informative.
sure we got a lot we could talk about.
Yes, I love that. That was very informative, and it was very well needed. Really, it was.
Amen.
So we're gonna wrap up this show. That's it for the day, guys. But make sure you tune in on next Monday. Right here, same place, and come on out and just tune in and tip the tea with your girl. So if you or anyone else you know that is in the Chicagoland area and want to exploit your brand, network, or even if you have an interesting topic you want to discuss, come on out and be my special guest. Let's tip the tea. For more details, inbox me, type in my name, Angela Eskridge, that's Angela, Eskridge, Eskridge. And come on out, and I will get back with you. I'll send you a response with more details of how you can come on the show. So come on out and tip the tea with your girl, Angie E. Peace.